Hey, so here we are again. So we got game coder 1, we got game coder 2. Guess what we're gonna do now? We're gonna go with game coder 3. Copy. Oh, we didn't recap the homework. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. You know, I'm already pasting. Okay. Okay. Remember, we need game coder 3 because we don't wanna mess with last week's file. Okay, so we'll do a new file. It's history. Got some history going on here. What did we do last week? Well, we had game coder 2. Remember, if I reload this page, we were able to move this guy to the right hand side of the screen because, and then when we get to the right hand side of the screen, we say you're dead. And our homework was we were going to make him move to the left hand side of the screen instead and say you've escaped. Okay, this is, why do we want to do this? Well, because it'll be useful in a little while. Okay, so I'm going to save this as a new file. I'm going to save this as a new file. You know what? I'm going to do that. Copy and save again. Copy, and paste. Paste. Where's paste going? Oh, copy, paste. Oop, game code. I'm going to call this one homework. I should have done this ahead of time. It's more fun this way. Okay, let's drop homework on there. It should look exactly the same. But what we're going to do is walk through the steps needed to make the guy walk the other way. So the first thing to make him walk the other way is we need to make him go the other way. Okay, so you'll remember that player left, which was initialized, this variable, var means variable, player left was initialized to 300. And what we did in last week's code was we periodically, every 250 milliseconds or so, we moved him. This is counterintuitive, don't you think? Player left plus 10. We increased player left, which doesn't make it more left, it makes it further from the left. So the leftness, the distance from left goes up by 10 each time, okay? So that's what makes him go to the right. So, and then what we did, we had a conditional, we had an if. If is a conditional. And we said if player left is more than 600, so it's 600 away from the left, which means it's all the way over here at the right. If he gets to 600, then he's dead. Okay. Otherwise, set timeout, do work. Otherwise, carry on, repeat. You know, rinse and repeat. Okay. So, but now we want to make him go to the left. So we want to make him go less left. So we want to reduce the amount of left. Are you getting where I'm going with this? Yes, we want to reduce the amount of left. We want to subtract, not add. So subtract will make him less far from the left. So let me do a quick save. So Control S, my favorite, or File Save. Just to recap, go over here, reload, and something's going to happen now. Oh, what went wrong there? Oh, don't worry, nothing went wrong. I will fix that in the edit. You know what? We opened game coder 002 homework here, but this is still pointing at game code 002. Okay, we need to drag the homework file on there. Okay, and you will see that he is now trundling, or she, trundling to the left. Oh, disappeared. Why is that? Well, why is that? Because we're now making the player character go less far from the left, so closer to the left. But we're not checking for when it hits this, because what is this? This is 0. This is 0 left. But the only checking we've got so far is when left is greater than 600. So what we need to do is, if left is, this is what I kind of expected. I don't know if that's what you got, but this is kind of what I expected. And we are going to use and tweak this. You escaped. I might even do it caps. Congratulations. With like 2 exclamation marks. That's wonderful. Yes, I can spell. Okay, save. Okay, so with the same player, leftness is decreasing by 10. So player left is now, whatever player left used to be, minus 10. And then we're doing a check. If player left is less than 0, you escaped. Congratulations. If it's not less than 0, then we'll do it. We'll set the timeout and we'll do it all over again in 250 milliseconds. So let's see what it does now. It must be a he because it's blue, right? If I'd made it pink, it would be a she. So I can continue to say he, unless someone complains. You escaped. Congratulations. All right. That was your homework. Yeah, are we done? I think we're done. No, wait a minute. No. With homework. Okay. With homework. See? With homework. Title. Title. Title goes here, remember? Remember from a couple of times ago? Alright. Excellent. Okay. So let's move on. So that was GameCoder 002 homework. So let's copy and paste and make GameCoder 003, which I already did. You will notice that so we're back to the old code, right? I'm going to load 003 in there. Drag and drop. Okay, it's called 003. I need to change the title. Let me do that. Okay, we've got the right file. GameCoder 003. Change the title to 003. Okay. Reload. GameCoder 003. Okay, so I'm going to add some more variables. Okay. Ignore what's going on the right hand side of the screen. var movement equals plus 10. Okay. And I'm going to do player left equals player left plus movement. That hasn't changed a thing, right? It's just basically said movement and movement. Yeah. And I got another one. Direction equals right. Oh, it's getting fancy. I'm not using it. So these, remember, are variables. I've created 2 new variables. One is called movement, plus 10. The other one is called direction. I'm going to have a third one. var interval equals 250. Okay. I'm going to start using these. So why am I doing all this? Well, you know, in coding world, which is where I live, we don't like numbers all over the place. You know, we've got numbers here. And we've got numbers. I'm taking it out now. We don't like numbers all over the place. It's very disconcerting for us. So what we like to do is put all the numbers in variables, or sometimes we call them constants. If they don't change, we call them constants. Or we call them defined sometimes. We like to put them all in one place, so it makes it easier to, you know, see what's going on and control how things are initialized. So I'm going to do another one. Left wall. Left max equals. That one's. We don't really need left max because. Left min is 0, and we'll call it left max. Is that good? Is that a good name? 600. Left max is 600. So then if we do player left is greater than left max, you've died. Ah. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of going through and cleaning up, basically. So this is not really added anything yet, but you know, this is what we like to do. I'm going to make this left max divided by 2, which should be the same as what it was before, right? Because it used to be 300, and 300 was just some magic number that I picked out of nowhere, and you're like, well, where did 300 come from? And you remember at the beginning it was 200 down here, you know, in the div, and then it was 300 up here in player left, and it was all wrong, see, because we had numbers all over the place. So we're trying to reduce that here. So this is not really teaching you anything other than good code cleanliness. Alright, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to hit reload, and nothing should have changed because all I've done is replaced a few magic numbers with defines. Yep, okay, still matches off the edge. So let's see whether it gets to left max, which is 600, or whether it... Yes, you have died. Jolly good, jolly good. Okay, so... Remember in your homework, you just kind of change this to 0, and then you change the movement to -10, and then, you know, but, you know, I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm going to do else if player left is less than or equal to left min. So here, so I've changed these, right? So before it was saying if it was greater than left max. Now I'm saying if it's greater than or equal to. So it's a subtle difference, but I just wanted to show you a different, you know, if you want to check for when something reaches a variable, you can say you can say player left equals, and notice that's 2 equals, because it's a because here we're doing a comparison between player left and left max. So compare player left and see if they're equivalent. You could use a different word, but because as opposed to here where it's a single equals, that's an assignment. So you're saying player left, set it to player left plus movement. Okay. But this is a comparison, so there are 2. Subtle difference, okay? I'm going to make that equals. Equals. Okay. No, I'm not. You know why? Because that's fragile, okay? Because if it somehow jumped over exactly 0, so if it somehow went from +1 to -1, then it might not work, you know, because it wouldn't jump into this clause. So what I've done now is congratulations, you have escaped. So now if it goes up and hits 600 or left max, you die. Or if it's going down and it hits left min, you escape. Okay. Otherwise, you can come back and do it again in another interval milliseconds. Okay. So currently we're still going to the right. So we're still hitting you have died clause. You have died. Okay. So I'm going to change this line now. I'm going to say if direction direction, okay, if right equals direction. So here we're doing another conditional, okay, but it's slightly different because look, we're comparing a word, not a number. So we're comparing anything wrapped in quotes is a word, okay. So we're saying right is equal to direction. So here, you know, here we're comparing 2 numbers, and here we're comparing 2 what we call strings. Programmers call these strings. So we've set this direction to right as a string. Now a string can have anything, you know. That right doesn't mean anything to the computer. It's just gobbledygook. Okay, it's just a collection of characters, and we have to interpret what what those characters mean. So I can do if so here I'm going to do if left equals direction. So what I'm doing is in terms of this interpretation of said words is adding meaning to what left and right mean, and using them to make player left go up or make player left go down, okay, by movement. So save again. This is still doing the same thing because direction is currently set to right. Direction is set to right. Okay. Now if I change direction to be, oh, you've died, no surprise. If I set direction to be left, then oh, it's going the other way. Now remember, like I said, oh, let's just see, exciting. Oh, you have escaped. Okay. Now, as I said, left and right don't mean anything. The computer doesn't know to move the person to the left or the right just because the word direction is left or right. What's happening here is we're evaluating what the string is. Direction is a string, and if it's set to right, then we move player left is equal to player left plus movement, or player left plus 10. But if direction is set to left, we say player left is player left minus movement or minus 10. It doesn't matter. So yeah, what I'm saying is the computer doesn't know what right and left is. More importantly, okay, you have to be aware that left and left are not the same thing. This is, all uppercase is not the same as lowercase. So for instance, now this guy's not going anywhere because what happens? We come to the do work function. We set the style of left to whatever player left is. Then we go, hey, is direction equal to right? And we go, no, direction is equal to left. It's like, oh, okay. Well, is direction equal to left? And we go, no, direction is equal to left. Uppercase. So we don't add 10 and we don't subtract 10 because neither of these conditionals are satisfied. Okay, so we just stay where we were. Okay, so yes, left and right. Similarly, I don't want to labor the point. Basically, we're just doing a string comparison here, and for our convenience, for the human's convenience, we've made direction to be a string which contains the words left and right. Whew. Now, the other thing you may have noticed was that okay, I fixed it. So and I have it F5 to refresh. When it's walking along, walkie, it gets to you've escaped when you're here. You're not actually crossed the line yet. That's because why is that? Well, we can fix that by saying if player left is less than left min. Okay, that'll actually do the trick. Here we go. Boom. Okay. So the other advantage of moving these plus 10s and things and whatnots to variables here, definitions here, is you'll notice, we use direction twice and we use movement twice. So if I'd got 10 here, I have to put 10 here, and then if I wanted to change it to go faster, like 20, then I would have to change it 20. So you notice I just change it once, and now it applies to both. It moves faster. Or if I want it, well, it moves further each. Step if I want. But I want if I move it to go. If I want it to go faster, then I can change it there, and it's clear what's going on. Okay. So this is kind of an enhancement of the homework where we're just saying direction. We're adding and subtracting based on direction, and then we're checking for off the right side and off the left side, but we're checking for both, and we only set the timeout if neither condition is captured. So why are we doing this? Well, obviously because this is a game and we want to start doing some more gamey type stuff, which is interacting with the keyboard to get user input. And should we do that now? Shall we do that now? Have we got time? Let's do that next time. Okay. You know what? No. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. You can do it. You can do it. Go have a coffee break. You know, I'm gonna have some tea. Back from coffee break. So what we were saying is, you know, stretch goals here, forging ahead. What we want to do is listen to the keyboard. When the spacebar gets pressed, well, you know what? Just when any key gets pressed, we want to change direction. Okay, and the homework's going to be, okay, pay attention. The homework's going to be figure out whether you can change direction to like match the key that got pressed. Okay, so let's get you started on how to read the keyboard. So, how do you do that? Okay, we're going to add another line here. It's going to be window.addEventListener. Event listener. What's that mean? Okay, well, how the browser works a lot is it does what they call fire events. You know, because everything happens, you know, randomly. You know, the user presses a key. They can press the key at any time, you know, not necessarily when the program's looking for a key to be pressed. You know, so rather than the program having to be constantly looking at all the things, you have what you call events, and the browser tells the program, "Hey, this happened." You know, this might be a key got pressed, or the mouse got moved, or a picture finished loading, or some audio stopped playing or ended. So key down is one such event. Okay, so we want to handle key down. So what we're saying here is for the window, why window? We're saying why window? What's window? Is that like document? Well, it's similar. But the document is everything inside this file. You know, this is our document. Think about that. But the window is like think of that as the program, the browser. So the browser window has a bunch of events, okay, and properties. And we might look at another one next week because there's some feedback on hey, coding's difficult. So and I don't know when it goes wrong, and I don't know why. So there's some there's some other window things that we might want to look at to make life easy for us. So anyway, got distracted there. So window add event listener. So we want to add a listener for an event, and the event we want to listen for is a key down, and the handler or the listener is this one. So I call it handle key down. I could call it key down listener. Key down listener. That kind of makes sense, right? Because we're adding a listener for an event, and the event is key down, and the listener is key down listener. Oh, I should have said. So key down listener is going to be a function, in case you didn't figure that one out. So we have here a function, key down listener, and as I demonstrated, this can be whatever you want it to be, because the computer is very clever. It can figure out that, hey, I don't know what this is. It doesn't mean anything to me. Let me go and look for it. Look. Oh, function key down listener. Oh, key down listener is a function, and it's defined right here. Well, at the moment it doesn't do anything, but anyway. So window add event listener, key down listener. Okay, which is for the key down event. So what am I going to do in here? I'm going to do some. I'm going to give you a clue for your homework. EVT, and then I'm going to do if left equals direction equals right, I should direction equals left. Whew! Fancy stuff. So what's going to happen is this. Whenever the user hits the keyboard, an event will be fired from the window to the event listener. The event listener will call this function, and this function will say, is left the current value of direction? If so, make direction be right. And if left isn't the current value of direction, else, we have the else clause, direction will be left. Now you'll notice before I was actually putting this in here. I was putting if else if right equals direction equals left. Now that's correct. That's equally correct as what we had before. But I'm trying to make it a bit more robust. So basically, if it's not left, it has to be right. So we don't really need this test in here. And in fact, if it's not left and it's not right, we need to make it one or the other. So I'm basically using this as a default. So I'm taking out the check there. I'm just saying, if it's left, make it right. Otherwise, make it left. Because if it's not right, it's got to be left. You know what I'm saying? You get me? Whew. So let's see what it does. We'll do a save. We'll do file, save, or Control S, and we'll go over here and we'll reload, which is what's that? We'll reload. Game code is 003, and it's run. Oh, congratulations, you have escaped. Is that what we wanted? Oh yeah, because it's initialized to left. Okay, so it starts off with left. Well, let's run it again. Run left. Hit the space bar. Oh, he goes the other way. Hit the space bar again. Oh, he goes the other way. Hit the enter key. Oh, he goes the other way. Hit any key. Well, there isn't an any key. Okay, hit the J key. So you just hit keys on the keyboard, it changes direction. And once it gets to one of the lines, it prints something. You have died. I'll change that to greater than. Okay. Look at that. It's almost like a game. It's a game of reaction speed, the speed of your reactions. Can you, see that? Can you hit that button within, 15 seconds before the guy runs off the edge of the screen? I think you can. Okay. So what have we done? What have we learnt today? We have learnt a little bit more about using variables. We use variables to hold values that may not necessarily change, but we just want to keep everything neat and tidy in one place. We've done a bit more about different types of variables. So strings, a string is a variable that is a sequence or a string of letters that looks like a word or a sentence. So we've done string variables. We've done a bit more on conditional, so you can compare two strings. We've and the fun thing that we just did very quickly at the end there, you thought you were too tired to do it, but we did it anyway. We added an event listener. So on the window, we add an event listener for the key down event, and give it a function, and then the function is here. And then if the direction is current, then we do a check. If the direction is currently left, then we change the direction to right. Otherwise, we assume that direction is currently right, and we change it to left. Which of course means that the character on the screen reverses direction every time you hit a key. So, without further ado, your homework. Learn by doing. Learn doing and learning. I need to make that a catchy catchphrase. I give you a clue here. I put EVT. I put the word EVT inside the function. Okay. This is another type. This is another variable. Okay. So this event listener will get called when the user presses a key, and it will be passed an event, and the event will have information in it. I want you to go and look online. Okay, let me do it like I did the other time. Look up event listener. Look up event listener. There. Look up event listener. Type. Key press. Some things to search for. Event type. Key press. That should, okay. And the other piece of the homework, change this so direction goes to left if user presses Z. Direction goes to right if user presses X. Okay. And if you have at it, go for it. You can do it. Ciao.